Week 16, we're talking about running backs here, and I believe I have a lock and loaded top 10 for you guys. These are can't miss plays. I like all 10 of these guys this week, and I think, hey, let's just throw up the rankings and let's get straight into it. Coming in at number 10, talking about Bijan Robinson going against the Indianapolis Colts defense, ranks 29th against opposing running backs, and I know we're getting out of Bijan Robinson. He was drafted very, very high to be the man for your fantasy team if you have him here, and it's frustrating to see the Falcons, how the way they use this guy. Sometimes they're using him and it's phenomenal. He comes out with a great fantasy outing, and then sometimes like last week he throws up a big dud because he just gets a handful of carries. It's just, we don't know what's going on with the whole scheme there with Bijan Robinson, but I think once they have a coaching change, I think they're going to have a head coaching change. Next year, we're going to see the Bijan Robinson that we wanted to see this year. But even with all that said, going against this Colts defense, I think Bijan Robinson has another one in him to help you succeed. Do not bench Bijan Robinson. You draft him in the first round for a reason, and let him come through for you against the Colts defense, who really can't stop many people on the ground. I'm telling you, Bijan Robinson could have an electric day. I feel like the Falcons are going to feed him the ball, and that would bode well for Bijan Robinson. So moving along here, at number 9, we're talking about Travis Etienne taking on that Buccaneers defense, ranks 8th against opposing running backs. I like Travis Etienne. He's a big part of this offense. Not a lot of carries in anybody else in the back, but it's really Travis Etienne's job to lose. I mean, this guy, he does all the running, he does all the passing, pass catching. He does a lot of things for this offense. He even gets all of the goal line work. So I do like Travis Etienne this week against the Buccaneers, who I believe the Bucs and the Jaguars, it's going to be a back and forth type of battle. I think it's not going to be a blowout either way, and there's going to be a lot of runs to be had on both sides of the ball. Here comes Travis Etienne. Should have a solid game against a tough Buccaneers run defense. I still think he does well just because Travis Etienne can also catch the ball out of the backfield, which I think bodes well for him overall. I think he's not going to have 100 yards rushing, but I think he's going to have over 120 all-purpose yards, which puts Travis Etienne into a top play for me. So let's move right along here to number 8. I've got Shamir Gibbs going against that Minnesota Vikings defense that ranks 7th against opposing running backs. Now, I do know they have David Montgomery, but as of late, I'm really liking what Gibbs is showing. The dude is absolutely electric. I think he gives me kind of like maybe like some type of Jamal vibes back for the Chiefs way back when. I don't know, man. Jamal Charles he was one of the most phenomenal players that played whenever I was watching when I was little. And Gibbs has shown me that. He's got the shiftiness. He's a small guy, 200-pound type of dude. He's a little bit taller than Jamal Charles was. I believe Gibbs around 5'11" or so. And I think Jamal Charles was maybe like 5'8" or something like that. So, but either way, this just the vibe that's given me. I love to watch Gibbs play. He can take it to the house at any given play. And I love that in fantasy football. If you have somebody like that on your team, it's just more exciting to watch. And I think he puts up some good numbers this week against the Vikings. Let's go right along here. It's number 7, Isaiah Pacheco going against that Raiders defense that ranks 23rd against opposing running backs. Isaiah Pacheco, he runs like a madman. He missed last week, but he will be back this week. And I'm telling you, put him into your lineup. You won't be mad that you did. The dude runs so angry, and it's fun to watch him run the ball. This Raiders defense is going to struggle to stop Pacheco. I absolutely love Pacheco this week. I see the Chiefs getting on track, really almost probably blowing out the Raiders, and I think Pacheco's going to be there at the garbage time to just eat up all the clock. I think he has a big game among him against this Raiders defense. Get him in your lineup. Coming at number 6, talking about Joe Mixon taking on that Steelers defense, ranks 27th against opposing running backs. Let's just face it, the Bengals don't have a lot going for them, so they're going to be feeding Joe Mixon the ball quite a bit. They're not going to have Joe Burrow. They're probably not going to have Jamar Chase. They're going to be out a lot of firepower. So here comes Joe Mixon running the ball against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense who can't really stop anything themselves. So I think it's going to be a big day for Mixon. I think he gets 20+ carries. They're going to feed him the rock over and over, and it's going to just produce for you for your playoffs. Get Joe Mixon in your lineup. Coming at number 5, talking about James Cook here. Talking against this Chargers defense that ranks 22nd against opposing running backs. What can we say about Cook? The dude he's coming along as of late. He had a phenomenal game last week, and he's just running the ball like a man with a mission, almost like Dalvin Cook, his brother, when he was within his prime. So I really like James Cook this week against the Chargers defense. Get this guy into your lineup. You need to start this guy in all leagues. Coming at number 4, we're talking about Rashad White going against this this Jacksonville Jaguars defense that ranks 11th amongst opposing running backs. Rashad White has been very, very consistent as of late. You kind of know what you do. He's got a safe floor, not a big ceiling, but he's right there for you. That's giving you solid numbers. You didn't have to spend a high draft pick on Rashad White, and he's giving you big dividends in the backfield for you and your fantasy team. Put Rashad White into your lineup. Like I said earlier when I was talking about Travis Etienne in the video, Jacksonville and the Buccaneers are going to be going back and forth. I think there's going to be a lot of running to be had. They're going to want to each try to control the clock as much as they possibly can. And I just love Rashad White this week. Get this guy in your lineup. Going over number 3 here, we're talking about Alvin Kamara taking on this Rams defense that ranks 6th among opposing or against opposing running backs here. Alvin Kamara is really this offense for the New Orleans Saints. I mean, at this day and age, Derek Carr is really not putting up those 300 yards, and the wide receivers, even though they are getting Chris Olave back this week, I think it's still going to be a lot of Alvin Kamara. You know, for some reason, he didn't start the game last week, which was really, really crazy for me, but he ended up getting all the carries that you can think of in the backfield, a lot of the touches. He was the man. He's always the man against like a Rams defense that's maybe a little bit more studly against the run, but it doesn't matter because Alvin Kamara does a lot with the pass catching ability. He has a very, very safe floor. Alvin Kamara easily the number 3 running back this week for me. Coming at number 2, we're talking about Kiron Williams taking on that Saints defense that ranks 14th against opposing running backs. Kiron Williams, he is the entire running game here. No one else is getting any type of touches. They will run this guy 20 plus times a game and do not bat an eye. Now, New Orleans does have a pretty good run defense historically, right? They always do well against opposing running backs, but when you're getting this type of value or volume from a team, he's just going to carry a lot of fantasy value for you and your team. So get Kiron Williams in your lineup. There's no way you're benching this guy anyway, but he's definitely number 2 on my list. I think he's going to get a lot of touches against the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be exciting to watch that right there. Well, let's go over to number 1 here. We all know it's going to be Christian McCaffrey taking on that Baltimore Ravens defense that ranks 2nd among opposing running backs, and I don't care that the Baltimore Ravens defense is a stud. Christian McCaffrey is even more of a stud. The dude can do absolutely everything, and he can break it at any given moment. I think Christian McCaffrey can run between the tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. The Baltimore Ravens are going to have their hands full with Christian McCaffrey. Do I think he has a blow-up game? Absolutely not, but he's still the best running back on my board. His talent level alone can carry him all the way to number 1. It just so happens he's playing the Baltimore Ravens defense, but we all know if you have Christian McCaffrey, you're not benching the guy. So play him. He's got a little tough matchup against Baltimore, but I still like Christian McCaffrey this week. As always, thank you guys for watching the video. Hit the subscribe button. We're really, really close to 700 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you that are making it this far in the video. Guys, leave a comment down below and hit the like button for me. It really helps with the algorithm. Like I said, we're growing the channel. We're building a family and building a community here at the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network. Can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.